The following report contains some disturbing images.
The dead are a constant presence in Indonesia's island of Sulawesi. For centuries, the dead have been sharing space with the living.
Khususnya bagi ini orang Toraja itu, tidak ada yang takut sama mayat karena sudah terbiasa, sudah adat.
After someone dies, it can take months, sometimes even years, before a funeral takes place. Here, even funerals are not goodbye.
Wajahnya sudah berubah jadi ndak ini, kadang cuma tulang saja begitu.
Is this a morbid obsession? Or could it be a healthier way of dealing with the grief of losing a loved one? It's the great unspoken, the taboo. Something we keep away from us. Something I have had to face recently when I lost my dad, but I don't know how to deal with. Most of us don't know how to think or talk about death, but there are some people who do think they know. In the Toraja region of Sulawesi in Indonesia, centuries-old customs make the dead a constant part of day-to-day life. This is Danduro. He's 86 years old and died over 2 years ago.
Kita yakin bahwa dia masih mendengar, karena kita yakin bahwa arwahnya masih bersama dia karena masih sakit. Sekali kita sudah Kristen, anak-anak dekatnya juga seperti itu, datang rutin, ada yang tinggal di luar.
Ancient animist beliefs intertwine with newer religions, resulting in unique rituals. Here, funerals take place months and sometimes even years after somebody passes away. In the meantime, the deceased is kept in the house and cared for as if he's sick, not dead.
Dan kita masih memberi makan selama dia dianggap masih dalam sakit. Jadi 2 kali makan juga sehari. Masih kita siapkan juga rokok, buat kesukaan, kopi. Dan kalau tidak baik keperawatannya selama di bumi ini, mereka akan kembali mengganggu.
To preserve corpses, formalin is often injected into the body. My dad died 3 years ago and we buried him in 2 days. It was all very sudden, it was all very bam bam. And to be honest with you, a few years on I still feel like I haven't adjusted. It was just too sudden. I'm still in a bit of a shock. Does this help you?
Dikuburkan secepat-cepatnya kan kita merasa cepat kehilangan. Kalau kami orang Toraja, ya makanya kan kami lama-lama karena kami masih menganggap masih bersama-sama terus. Lakukan ini masih apa yang seperti kita lakukan pembersihan, masih memberikan apa yang masih diperlukan selama sakit.
What's really incredible is that none of these kids seem to be fazed by the fact that there is a dead person lying here and everybody's so calm. Like many people, I've never really liked the idea of being around corpses, so much so that when my own father passed away, I refused to go and see his body one last time before his burial. Something I still feel guilty about.
Jadi perasaan takut itu tidak ada. Khususnya bagi ini orang Toraja itu, tidak ada yang takut sama mayat karena sudah terbiasa. Dia orangnya sangat baik, penyayang sama anak-anaknya, masih ada hubungan batin. Den itu jom tandok mabela lamorai rampola si tirang kami. Mamali le, dami tiramban le, dami sengke.
This is Paulo Sirinda. He died over 12 years ago, and his daughter looks after him.
Bapak ini dia orangnya sangat baik, penyayang sama anak-anaknya, masih ada hubungan batin.
This process, having him in the house, well, in your case for 12 years, do you think this helps you deal with the grief?
Ya itu pastinya, pasti membantu. Karena kalau kita menurut perasaan kami anak-anaknya, kalau begitu cepat dikubur, ya pasti cepat merasa kehilangan begitu.
I wish I had that kind of opportunity to adjust to my dad's death. I mean, would I have his body in my house a few years after his death? I'm not sure. But I sure would have liked the opportunity and time to adjust, so it wasn't all so sudden. So it wasn't like 1 minute he's there and the next he's gone forever.
Paling ya datang disapa, nenek tidur terus, nggak bangun-bangun gitu. Paling sapa, ayo bangun, pergi makan.
Serinda will stay lying here until his family have saved up enough money for a grand funeral.
Ini artinya ya baguslah kalau dia lama-lama di atas rumah supaya anggapan kita masih bersama. Orang Toraja itu, jadi kita harus mempersiapkan ritualnya dari.
This is a traditional Torajan funeral. They often last for days and dozens of pigs and buffaloes get sacrificed. Funerals are important because this is where the deceased is finally interred and considered dead. But even this is not goodbye. The physical relationship between the dead and the living continues long after death, even after burials. Once every couple of years, families bring the coffins of long-departed relatives out of their graves and open them up for a big family reunion. The ritual is called matnene, or cleansing of the corpse.
From the sociological perspective, that's a kind of keeping social interaction between those who are still alive and those already died.
The coffin is finally open. This is Maria Solo, and she's covered in her most treasured belongings. Thank you. They want me to show what she looked like before and what she looks like now. She died 3 years ago and got buried 2 years ago. They kept her in the house for 1 year.
Orang tua sudah dilaksanakan sekarang sangat lega, karena sudah dilaksanakan. Saya lihat itu mukanya orang tua, saya sangat menyayangi sama saya, tidak pernah marah-marah sama saya. Jadi saya itu saja anunya sama orang tua ya.
Atau namanya kayak kita maunya kalau kita sebagai manusia pasti bilang coba orang tua saya masih hidup seperti halnya yang saya alami. Kalau kita perantau pasti kalau macam macam anak mantu bilang panggil anak.
How do you think Manene helps you deal with the grief?
Ya bisa juga dikatakan ekspresi kesedihan, macam kita orang perantau begitu bisa kayak meringankan beban yang kita pikul. Orang tua kita kalau meninggal pasti kita ingin melihat.
All of this is so different to how I dealt with my father's death, or so I thought.
What did you do to your fathers?
We buried him.
Buried him, yeah, and then until now?
I
You
visit
visit
his grave
his
sometimes.
grave sometimes. You did actually manene. In different way.
How?
Yeah. Because you visit the grave of your father because you still remember him as your father. And you still have an emotional relationship with him. Your love to your father, never ending. Right? And that's the principle of manene.
So perhaps the principles behind the rituals here are not very different from most other cultures. Remembering our dead is something most of us try to do, but Torajans don't leave that to chance, and for them, there certainly appears to be great comfort from the rituals around death.